all of all, Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one too, and all of all in between. This is for the absolute positive, good God and truth of you, only crossing bigger and better. One wholly, absolutely positive and good, bigger and better than all of all negativity. If you've seen anything I posted or online or any of my videos, you will know that I state that all creation of existence of atoms are a love knot of male and female energy. And as long as the male energy, which is the positive energy, is bigger and better, more positive than the female energy, right? The negative of the atom, right? It keeps it one together, wholly, bigger and better than all of all negativity that could destroy it anywhere. And if it bonds two or more Christ-like, right? That's the absolute good truth of God of every shape, form, and mass. Two atoms or more absolutely, positively bonded together to make the shape, form, and mass of every body of everything Christ-like, not to exclude every dimension of time and space you can think of, and every shape, form, and mass of God you can think of. The state of one positive, one more positive than all of all negativity, is the only light, joy, warmth, good God or truth, Holy Spirit for everlasting peace, all of all will ever know or be. It's the state that all of all embodied matter is stated good to the truth of God, their shape, form, and mass, only crossing bigger and better than all of all negativity. The neutral and nothing, just one more positive and good as truth to the bigger and better of the here and now, their motion and rest and ways and paths of reality check. As stated at the crucifixion, you have to man up and steal your life back from all of all faith that will have you crisscrossing foolishly to one neutral nothing, just negative of you here and now, to reality check. Only cross all of all you are of negativity back one more positive to be good as truth. Only add up until all of all the negativity subtracts to one neutral nothing, just negative of your here and now being positive and good. Repeat as needed. All of all faith is a static, twisted, scattered, blind, undefined, unevolved lie that teaches that things cross good and bad, when all of all things good are the absolute positive of you, right? And all of all things bad are the absolute negative of you. And because they teach things that cross good and bad, and they don't respect the positives and negatives of them, right? They are never good as truth. They're always living a lie of illusion and delusion in reality check, right? Because if you don't know anything bad, it's just negatively deficient of you only crossing one more positive to be good as truth, well, you can never be the bigger and better of it. And all of all things positive that you are faithfully are only the good truth of the absolute of nothing of you in reality check, just static, twisted, scattered, undefined matter that's came to a better way than that negative of you that day. And that's why, over a volume of time, if you don't know that always cross yourself back one more positive to be good as truth, if you don't go splat, do the absolute bigger and better, that way of that, right? You won't. And in reality check, it's the aged out, decay, disintegration, suffering, and death of every body, of everything, to one neutral nothing, to reality check. In the beginning, right, in the mythology, Pistis Sophia was an atom. And like I told you, as long as that atom is more male, positive with energy, right, good as truth, bigger and better than all negativity, its shape, form, and mass is holy and indestructible, cannot be destroyed anywhere. But because she crossed more female, more negative with the energy of the negativity of her, right, she split. And this is what we call the Big Bang. And at that point, all that she was, right, split equal into parts, okay? And to speak up the positive, right, E equals MC squared, right? Positive energy is the good truth of all shape, form, and mass of matter, only crossing absolutely bigger and better. And everything that was positive energy ever coagulated to the point of the proton. Okay? Now I'm going to talk the negatives of her. Everything that backfired with energy, static, twisted, scattered, blind, and undefined of her, right, only did it one way, right? Infinitely negative as a backfire of positive energy, right, with her polarity, because the energy, right, is positive. It's the polarity of her that crossed negative, okay? But positive energy is infinite. But when she reversed that energy, right, instead of it being a positive, bigger and better to all things matter, good as truth, as the bigger, better of all reality check, the rest of it, the negatively deficient of it, right, went to the infinite, static, twisted, scattered, undefined matter of space. Everything that never came to the point of an atom or absolutely good as truth to be the bigger and better than all negative energy or matter of it. Okay? Now, because the proton is a bigger, better energy, meaning it only adds up, right? Good as truth to the shape, form, mass it expresses bigger and better, right? It was able to overwhelm the neutron, okay? Because a neutron is they say it's neutral, but then they say it's nothing of a charge, but actually it's nothing of a positive charge, right? But it's always negative of a proton. So the proton, right, energy, the positive energy of it, right, stabilizes the neutron, okay? But when the static, twisted, scattered, undefined energy of reality, right, through the electrons, through the electrical negativity of it, right, crosses more negative with the negativity of you, it's the devil of you, and through these neutrons they become radioactive from the inside out of all matter, right, destroying it with decay and disintegration to one neutral nothing. And because this existence was unevolved, okay, right, but it was created by a backfire of positive energy, right, when those atoms finally coagulated and overcame the inertia of the negative, well, then they started bonding more positive and good to the truth of the reality of the shape, form, mass of everything, of the cosmos, okay? Now, everything that was negative of her, right, that came to a point, it came to its point of matter, one nothing of a charge of the neutron. But like I said, anything that's one nothing of a positive charge is only negative of a proton, okay? So the proton always overwhelms it. That's why if you're more positive than the negatives of you anywhere, right, you will be good as truth. And the bigger and better, that will be expressed out to the here and now of your reality check through the motion and rest, the ways and paths of you. But because that energy is always in flux, okay, throughout your life you'll feel negative deficiencies from it, okay? And that's where you got to know that you are bigger and better than any animal in existence and come back more positive and good. But if you don't know that it's just negativity attacking you, right? Static, twisted, scattered, undefined matter that hasn't come to a protonic point, more positive and good, then all it's making you is a dead nothing matter. You understand? Negatively deficient, right? With energy, right? Positive energy lighting you up to one neutral nothing through the neutrons of you perversely, right, destroying you from the inside out with your matter. The matter of your life from the inside out at 360 degrees to one neutral nothing, just negative of you here and now, one more positive and good as truth. But after that inertia of all creation of existence had settled, and we came back more positive and good, so says the here and now, of the truth of our shape, form, and mass, right? Well, the proton energy, right? The positive energy, okay, of the atom man of all I am, of the God of all I am, of forever lasting peace, of the good truth of Jesus Christ, I am the example of a life that never dies one negative to one neutral nothing, one that only crossed all negativity, by example back positive and good as truth, bigger and better than all. You hear me? And set the example with his life. See, you can't kill something only crossing one more positive when it's crossed with all faithful negativity, right? Only adding up good as true. That's the bigger and better of all God, truth, reality check of matter, only crossing more positive and good. And that's why he got up 3 days later with the thieving Holy Spirit, God, King, Adam, man, first evolved, the triple male of all I am, and stole his life back. You hear me? And went on with life. Listen. After the initial inertia of existence, right, was settled, the thieving Holy Spirit, God, King, Adam, man, first evolved, the triple male of all I am, right, incarnated a she-ape species, right, and in the cavern of woe, a female she-ape was incarnated through an orgasmic affair, meaning the energy of the good God and truth of all I am brought her to a more enlightened state than a lesser, beastly, inferior, unevolved state of a negative way, right? So she had an orgasm, and through this orgasm, the first Adamite male of all I am was created, but also the first woman, because a woman is the only female species of existence that can have an orgasm. Now check me out. But everybody of her tribe that bred with her secondary, right, became the Shiva lineage, the monkey lineage, right, that was less inferior. See, I can tell a dog or cat or a monkey all day long, be positive, that'll make you good, that's the good truth of it, right? You'll be bigger and better than all negativity, right? You don't have to worry about nothing, man, you'll last forever. They'll never get it, you hear me? And because they could only express the positives and negatives of them through good, bad, right? They were of faith, and all faith, again, is negatively deficient of the absolute positive good God and truth of them. So in reality check, the more faithful they crossed, right, the more monkey they become of the mind and of the body back then. But here's the thing, right? In the SGs of the soul, it says when you cross, or it says the female soul is on the outside of the body and has a reverse appendage of a male, okay? It's not talking about a woman, it's talking about when you cross negative with negativity, right? From the inside out, you act more like a monkey than a man. And that is a fact check. That is God, truth, a reality check. But all who bred directly with the enlightened out good God and truth, absolute positive, bigger, better than all negativity, the pre-Adamite male of all I am, right, became the God kings that created the pyramid dynamo around the earth, okay? And they didn't die, okay? They became so enlightened, so connected to what was positive and good for them as truth, they became the bigger and better of all mankind of reality. It was the giants of old, okay? But the Shiva lineage did, because not only were they were inferior to the God Kings, right? Instead of being cooperative, right? They were emotional. Instead of being logical, right? They were competitive instead of compassionate. And because of this, right? They not only were inferior of the mind, right? They also were inferior to the reality check of their bodies, okay? Because if you're not getting the right nutrients and the right substance, and you're living more of an animal than a man, right, off the raw aspects of you, well, that's a deficiency on you always, okay? Especially if you can't articulate it back, what's going on. If you can't identify what your enemy is, and it's only negativity, you have to cross back to something more positive to be good. You didn't go splat. You can absolutely here and now be bigger and better than that. And if not, you're a goner, right? Well, if you can't articulate that because you got a monkey mind, right? And you're living, well, these started breeding smaller. And here's the fact of it, right? Okay. When you look at the depictions of the kings of old, right, you see that they're way bigger people, right, than the smaller people. Well, at the time of the first destruction of Earth, the God Kings had a pyramid structure around the world, and they were using it to geyser water to the surface. Whether they needed to or not, I'm not sure, but that's how they had it set up. And through these pyramids, they was able to create energy to move the blocks and create the paradise of the megalithic old, okay? Probably a lot more after that, because there's a lot of time in between that and the second destruction. But the Shiva lineage, they were enlightened enough, faithfully, like a faithful person today that gets shitball with something and thinks something's bad on them and can't get it off. They act any kind of crazy they can because they don't know, man. They just come back more positive to be good as true. So these fuckers crashed them out. That's just the real of it. Everybody, they crashed out the first existence, and we came out of it, and Adam came to himself, right? And he knew life was good. And in the Coburn, it says those people did not mix when they came out of the first destruction, because the enlightened people, they were scattered tribes, and they knew that those people died, and they didn't, and it was a thing. But anyways, Adam came to himself, and he knew he was an Adamite man, and because he knew he was an Adamite man, life was good, right? But he didn't know always how to stay connected to it, and all around him was the Shiva lineage, and he got the shaft. He crossed more faithfully than good as truth, the absolute bigger and better than all of all negativity. And because he did that by example, Jesus Christ left the correct example to make all of all bigger and better than all of all reality, because Jesus knew through the thief and Holy Spirit, God, King, Adam, man of all I am, I would see that I am the energy of God, the absolute good truth of the pre-Adamite male of all I am, the triple male of all I am, the Father, Son, and even Holy Spirit, the good God and truth of Jesus Christ of all I am, the 3-2-1 man of all I am, the one together, three adding up for all mankind I am. And that's a fact check. That's God. That's truth. That's a reality check. So anyways, back to my story. They crashed out the God Kings. Adam came to himself. And there was a lot of time before that first destruction, second destruction. But somewhere in between there, they hunted down what was left of the giants, called them savages, created them, turned them into savages, turned their children into savages, and murdered them out to nothing. And if you look at the Asian people, right, and all the people in India and China and Mexico and Native Americans of the United States, you will see they are a lot smaller than Caucasians or African Americans. And you will find that their DNA is different also. And that is because of the lineage. Now, here's the thing about it. Even though they weren't supposed to breed, see, now we say there's angels that caused the first destruction. But here's what I think. Here's what I think. I think, man, that these people also got enlightened, and they got to a point, because they were more monkey than man, right? They just loved to breed. And when you do that, you have litters of negative energy, right? The litters of this and litters of that. But they knew if they got to breed with the girls of the God Kings, right, that would enlighten their state. But the God Kings, right, they didn't want their girls or their people to breed with them, because they were perverted fucking monkey men. You hear me? Oh, the truth of it, it's good to be an animal in bed, but not all the time. You got to man up in the day, you hear me? That's what I say, you hear me? That's how all the good God and truth of my orgasms ever crossed me to the bigger and better. Any female negativity, animalistic, beastly ways, Shiva shafts and nutty, fruity bushwhackers in reality check I've ever been the bigger and better of, absolutely positively, have not a faithful, freaking unevolved doubt of it. And that's a fact check to all my new super friends. Hopefully I got some. That's God. That's truth. That's reality check. And anyways, they knew what the neutron was. They knew the energy. Shiva tried to be the neutral god because he was inferior. He thought that neutron was neutral. But I'm telling you, the neutral is nothing, right? That atom is not nothing of energy, or that neutron is not nothing of energy. It's always negative of a proton. Listen, man, if you're not a giver, you're a receiver. That's a fact check. You hear me? That's God. That's truth. Reality check. So check me out. I'm giving to you. Now, I receive a little something, because I like to break things down. I like to break the negative down to fucking work it out to nothing. I get off on that shit. It's absolutely, positively, have not a faithful doubt, an orgasmic affair for this fool in reality check. You hear me? It's the stimulation and ejaculation of the mind, man. The jism is the chrism. Don't you know that? Seal that with a kiss. You hear me? I'll seal that with a kiss. You can say what you want in these gospels, but no, in reality check, the jism is the chrism, man. That's the orgasmic affair of it. And if you have children, make that woman, if you're a man, make that woman, let that woman fall in love with you. You hear me? Let her know, or whoever your spouse is, hey, some people are in different kinds of relationships. I don't judge. All I'm saying, if it's negatively deficient, if you crossing one more positive and good as true, to all you eat, drink, smoke, or fuck, in reality, leave it alone, man. That is king, because, check me out, that's the only thing that can kill you. You hear me? If you eat something that tastes like shit, I don't care if it's the most valuable thing in existence for you to eat, man, leave it alone, because whatever's in it's toxic to you. You're not absorbing the good more positive than the negatives. You understand? If you're smoking a cigarette or you're smoking a joint, you hear me, or you're smoking something responsibly, don't be smoking nothing crazy, because that's just negative. But if you're smoking one or two of those things, right, and they feel more negative than positive, put them out. You're good as truth. There's no way you can get cancer from that. There's no way you could come to any harm to the bigger and better of that cigarette only being one more positive good. And anything that's positive about them cigarettes, right, good as truth, that's all you're absorbing. You understand? If you got a woman, or you got something that you like to do, like drink or whatever it is, man, you hear me? And you can be more positive with it, man. Be the good truth of that. You hear me? Show that in reality check. You dig? Because that's how it works. That's how the bigger and better of you is produced out to the here and now. And if you got to put some pipe down, you hear me? Listen up, ladies. Make sure you fuck good. You hear me? Absolutely, positively. You hear me? Dick that shit down to the good God and truth of her mind being blown in reality. And if you don't, you just a damn fool. And some other fool will have what you want. Absolutely, positively, have not a faithful doubt. That is a fact check. That's why I'm not so monogamous anymore in reality check. That's God. That's true. That's reality check. From the full thief man, God King, Adam man first evolved, the freaking triple male of all I am, the 1, 2, or 3, Father, Son, and even Holy Spirit, God King, Adam man first evolved of all I am. That's a fact check. Have not a faithful doubt. That is God, truth, a reality check. Peace.